evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Triggered. I'm your host, Zachary Clark, and you all know my co-host, Adam Furman. Adam, how are you doing tonight?
I don't know.
Has all of the food turned to ashes in your mouth?
What's this, Twilight?
Twilight?
Yeah, it's a Twilight quote.
It's from Twilight?
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
Well, got a great show for you tonight, folks. Sit back, relax, get yourself an ice cold beverage, and enjoy what we've got for you tonight. You know, me and Adam have been doing this show for a little while now. We're pros. Old hat. Old hat.
I'm a little late over here.
There's mosquitoes. It's got mosquitoes coming to you, babe! Straight from the heart of a hurricane.
Oh no.
The very heart of it. The pride, the panache, the dash. Gallantry of the thing.
States no.
A hurricane coming for the very soul of the Union. We'll get into that. Up first, as always, we have a segment on the show that you guys might know. Like I just said, we've been doing the show for a while. And so there's a thing we do every day that we do the show. It's
I'm it's delayed for me, so I just like.
So you know,
I feel like really messed up.
we're going to touch base with things that are happening on the. What's this? Jamie, bring up the radio. Scanner radio.
Oh man, season 4 is wild.
1301 Broadway.
Yeah, we hired a guy for our jingle, and it sounds like you're a stroke.
I don't
You know what? My $75 back.
I don't know what you're talking about. 1301 Broadway. Subject assaulted and ran over by a vehicle. QPD, QFD, and EMS en route. Fight season is not slowing down. Not slowing down at all.
He was assaulted by a vehicle?
Yeah, you were assaulted.
Why would you word it that way? Oh no, Megatron is in the area.
Well, maybe he was assaulted, and then the guy got in their car and then ran him over.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe the guy was like driving past.
I was thinking it was like.
He swung the door open and knocked him down, and then like backed up and ran him over.
Starscream came out and.
Starscream.
No, it's yeah.
I feel like that was a pretty reasonable impersonation.
The truth is out there. The truth is out there, Zach.
About Transformers?
A bunch of degenerate aliens committing assaults on humans.
Oh, Transformers. More than meets the eye. How's it go?
Knowing is half the battle.
No, that's G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe!
It's all the same.
Oh no, I can't remember. We're gonna have to do some research onto the Transformers theme song.
It's more than meets the eye.
Yeah, it's just Transformers more than meets the eye. But then it like talks about the Decepticons. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, that's something I don't know.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know it either.
I'm just privy to the prestigious Emmy Award-winning
Oh no.
Beast Wars Transformers.
Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad.
It is so good.
I'm saying I've forgotten the deep lore, the deep magics of the old Transformers theme song.
They Optimus Primal and Megatron, when they were battling it out, they were actually in prehistoric Earth. They actually encountered Optimus Prime in the Ark on Earth. They didn't know it was Earth at the time.
When they were beasts?
Yeah, that was after they got their, what is it? They're like transmetal forms. Yes.
Was it like a Planet of the Apes situation? Is that what we're talking about?
Planet of the Apes? No. They had to, something about the Earth's atmosphere was too harsh on their, that's why they had to beat beasts. It was too hard on their robotic figures, so they were beasts. That could transform into their robots. It was like the Energon. I think there's too high a concentration of Energon on Earth, and so their beast forms shielded them from that. And then something happened. I can't really remember. I can't remember. Something happened which changed a handful of them into their transmetal forms. I'm not sure. Unicron might have been involved. I can't remember.
Well, man, sounds like you need to rewatch Beast Wars 1993.
I should, yeah. We just finished the Transformers War for Cybertron. It's interesting, but I have my criticisms.
I've seen nothing but the movies since like 1989 or whatever. I'm talking about.
I was actually thinking about the Shia LaBeouf movies.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
I was actually thinking about that. Someone took out my movies and we're looking through them, and I've got Transformers. I'm like, man, I should go back and watch that.
I remember liking it. It was good. It was a good show.
I know. It's like Megatron is contained beneath the Hoover Dam.
Michael Bay gets too much hate for his excellent action films.
They're just, I agree with you. They're spectacular.
They're just fun movies. But we can't just talk about Transformers all night. We've got to talk about 629 South 20th Street, where a female was attacked by a male in a skeleton mask, who then took off running. He was also being followed by a black vehicle. Dun, dun, dun. Oh no, maybe there's some kids playing the knockout game in town.
Wait, there's a vehicle following the assailant?
I believe so, yes.
To punish him or to
I think it was probably just like a chase vehicle for their prank. Their knockout game prank.
Is that what they were doing?
Adam,
knockout game?
Have you heard about a new game that's sweeping the nation? Oh, but this isn't anything you play on a Nintendo system. It's the knockout game. The knockout game is a sick and twisted act of violence committed against the public, wherein teenage ruffians are assaulting pedestrians on the streets.
Yes, it's for sure. I first heard about that. First, it was going on for like 10 years or whatever, right?
The
AKA
knockout
just
game.
knocking people out.
Where is your teen at tonight? Perhaps they're out on the street playing the knockout game. Am I effectively transmitting the vibe from the 90s?
You are. It's a really good. It's actually pretty good, but the cynicism that you're projecting, it comes here.
Oh, I can't appropriately.
Talent is good, but the cynicism.
I can't appropriately mime the sincerity of 1990s journalism.
Who was the guy who was there at everything? Peter Jennings, Tom Brokaw. Who was it?
I don't know.
Oh, it was one of those. It was one of those guys who, like, if they found out, like, I don't know, 7 years ago that he just lied about a handful of events he had witnessed.
Was that?
And then they were memeing him like everywhere.
I think that happened to a couple of these TV anchors. It was Tom Brokaw, I believe.
See, I want to say it wasn't.
Dave, bring up the thing!
Well, there's what's his face who's lying about he actually got fired or was forced to resign about John Kerry and George Bush back in 2004.
Brian Williams.
Brian Williams. That's it. Tom Brokaw. Peter. Okay. I was say I didn't think it was Tom Brokaw because he still projected that sincerity that hold the
Caught lying. Rachel Maddow. She doesn't care about lies. I don't know. Do you want to get into the other?
Alright, what's the next on the scanner?
Alright, we have another assault. 4100 block of half pipe lane. A male was assaulted, hit on the head with a metal pipe. We got pipe fights in fight seasons news. Is that the one that burnt the couch yesterday? Says Pam Sprinkle. What kind of pipes you having that are burning couches, Pam? Glass pipe, crack pipe. Yeah. Just like Barack Obama's alleged incidents in a Tucker Carlson interview. Continuing on, 20th and Oak subject has alcohol all around him, and he's walking in and out of traffic, getting lots of calls about this subject. I have so many questions that aren't explained.
20th and Oak?
20th and Oak, he's walking in and out of traffic, but has alcohol all around him.
Like orbiting him?
I don't know. See, he might have magical drunkard powers.
He's junctioned into him.
Is he just tossing them as he drinks them?
Oh, what time is this? What time is that?
8:21 p.m. It's probably not even dark out.
Why is there traffic at 8:21 at 20th and Oak?
Great question. Hard to say. According to a person that lives on the street, she's locked her doors.
Jack Sparrow.
This guy tags in someone else and tells them to go to bed. And then calls them a hooker.
Classic Dave.
Oh, all around him? What that mean, Willis? Let's find out. Must be hanging around his neck. We don't have any real answers. We have base speculation by Pam Sprinkle. Pam, this is the scanner. This is not the place for base speculation about what may or may not. This is the key question to the report. What the heck does that mean that there is booze all around this guy? No one knows.
He's just carrying cases. Let's go jump him and steal his stuff.
Rory Tenhouse, you're better than this. Rory Tenhouse replies. Oh no.
What is? I can't remember what that's from.
Trailer Park Boys, I believe.
Oh, never mind. I've never seen it. I thought I've seen it. Something.
No.
Maybe.
But Adam, this day, yesterday, 4 days ago, was the 10-year anniversary of the Scanner Radio being on Facebook. Here's to another 10 at least, Scanner Radio. I raise my glass to you into many more seasons of Trigger.
We're gonna have to do our own sleuthing if they're ever out.
I need to learn how to video edit and then just splice together 4 seasons worth of Scanner Radios. Just into like an endless loop. It's the Scanner.
It's like how long? It would be like 3 to 7 seconds long each time, right?
Sounds right, yeah. But I'm going
And so we've got what? 15. We've got probably on average 40 episodes a season, 35 to 40. More?
I don't know.
Well, less.
I don't know. It's like, let's say like 25.
We've got like 4 minutes of content.
25.
4 minutes of content.
Yeah, but I would.
This year is better.
I'd cut.
Calendar year.
I'd cut into tracks and then randomize them and put them on an endless loop and be the Scanner Radio introduction to an hour version. Except he never concludes the Scanner introduction until the very last one at like hour 10. It's like Scanner Radio.
It's got me laughing in the background.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, so what else we got here? The most stunning thing I've witnessed. You may have heard this, Adam, but there was tragedy at the Burning Man. The Burning Man. Get this. There's a gathering in the desert called the Burning Man. And the Quincy man says that the flooding, mud, didn't affect the enjoyment of the Burning Man event at all. It was the most stunning thing he's ever witnessed going to Burning Man. And I want you to guess what this man looks like.
What was the most stunning thing he's ever witnessed? Was the flooding?
No, being at Burning Man. Just the event itself.
Oh, just being there?
Yeah, it's a great time. He's been stunned by it. The most stunned he's ever witnessed.
Oh, that's sad.
I don't know. But you still need to guess what he looks like.
I do not know. I cannot guess.
Guess based on his
I do not want to guess.
On the head tops here, guess which one is him.
I don't know.
It's a coin flip. It's that lady. This is him. at the Burning Man with his white fuzzy cowboy hat, white heart shades, and he's wearing briefs, underpants, and some white sneaks. wandering the sands of the Nevada desert. Jeannie and Sam Dancer spent last week at the Burning Man event in Black Rock Desert, Nevada. Sam Dancer says, who attended this year's event, had a different perspective to the hellscape portrayed by popular media. I learned a valuable lesson. The world's full of shit when it comes to overreacting to things. When people are looking for a story to tell, that's not even there, he said Tuesday afternoon as he and his wife Jeannie were driving back to Quincy from Nevada. So I guess it's not as bad as everybody was making it out to be. Old Sam Dancer reporting live on the scene.
Isn't this where the Navajo Rangers got involved or something?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I thought that there was like climate activists or whatever, and the Navajo Rangers just like peeled into it and then dragged them off and executed them off to the side or something.
The only thing I've seen about Navajo Rangers lately was the stop climate action guys or whatever who block roads.
Yeah, I thought that was for Burning Man.
Was it? I have no idea. I just know that they somehow made...
I thought that's what it was devastating. I can't... I'm in my car for more than 20 minutes or whatever.
They I don't know. I think that sounds right. But they also... These activists managed to park a flatbed for a semi across the roadway, and then we're sitting there, and then the video shows this police SUV come barreling around all of the cars that are stopped and backed up and just barrel straight into the flatbed, and the cops hop out with guns drawn, screaming for these people to get on the ground, and they hook them up, take them to prison. Based on my legal analysis, that whenever these people block a road, they're committing a felony in the state of Illinois. If you ever manage to do that,
right? And two, based on zero legal research, if they're on tribal land, they are subject to tribal law. I think there's only certain instances of major federal crimes that could maybe. Where the FBI would get involved. But other than that, you're effed.
Yeah, I don't know. I still am unclear on how exactly tribal governments interact with the American legal system.
Yeah, it's almost like, I don't know, it's almost like they're, like I said, based off of just vibes and TV and movies. It's like they are... almost like states.
They're almost like
states, but
they're almost like independent nations within the borders of America somehow.
Like how states used to be.
Yeah, sort of, except for they have a different relationship to the federal government and how
correct
how they're
it's like
subject to them
by treaty,
Yes, exactly.
Which end up going up to the Supreme Court every now and then, and they're like, nah, you gotta get bent, Idaho. You have to follow, or I think it was Colorado or Wyoming. Like, get bent. You have to follow this treaty that was done in 1871.
Yeah, periodically
with like a hunting.
It will come out and they'll say that these treaties that the United States government signed and were ratified are valid. And they can be enforced by the Native American tribes. And they was like, no, that's not how this has worked for a couple hundred years.
No, they're literal, like, it had to do with like hunting stuff. I think the one that I was reading in 2019 or whatever, that was the most recent major one I've heard. A handful of cases. It was like these states didn't want natives with guns coming onto their land hunting. And they're like, no, you look at 1878. It's
right.
signed.
This is our hunting ground, and
You
it's
have to
been
be held to it.
given to us under this law. Yeah, I don't know. There's some deep magic that people don't even know. Most lawyers I know don't know about the deep lore. They're like, what? No, 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 no. No law existed before 1950.
Yeah, there's something weird about that where it's like everything. I would push it back to like the just the years into it. You're right though. It's like nothing happened prior to World War II.
Yes, there was dramatic changes in the way that people started thinking about talking about the law and the way that jurisdictions began to regulate their populations through the law following that time period. We begin to see these expansive civil codes come into being and overriding common law and what had been the practice, but like only partially. You can't do away with the common law. It still informs, and basically your statutes have built on what those are, and they will use the thousands of years of law to interpret the laws you've written. And you've written these laws even if you don't know it in that context, using vocabulary and context from this stuff. And like we run into often, it's like a trust is its own entity, like a corporation, which wasn't even a thing that existed until like the early 20th century. And it's like, well, wait a minute, trusts go back to the Crusades. How could they be like corporations? What even does this mean? And it's like, well, actually, frankly, they're not their own thing. They exist only in the person of the trustee. It's that guy, whoever the trustee is.
No, that was Zach. That'd be interesting. No, you know how there's like this.
That's not how it goes.
No, there's like these cultural ground zeros. Like we've determined that there's like you and I have like just talked about how like the 2011, 2012 area. There's like this ground zero for that. I know people talk about like, what is it, 1971? Huge, was it 71 or 73? Huge cultural shift.
I wasn't alive.
I bet.
2012, then you have like...
You're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. Nothing existed prior to
2001. You can't forget the transformation that happened and was catalyzed by 9/11.
And I bet if you would look at it, you'd find something around that 1945 to 1950 spot, not just with the law, but with other things too. I don't know. This is my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think that there was a interesting transformations that happened, well, pretty much every decade that I've been alive. Because you had, like, Reagan and stuff, and it was a response to Jimmy Carter, and then basically an antagonism to the Soviet Union, which collapsed early 90s. Okay, and now we're in a new thing. Transformed. The collapse of the Soviet Union, probably starting actually in the late 80s into the early 90s when it officially, the wall came down and everything. And then you were in that era. The strange Newt Gingrich Republican era, Bill Clinton stuff, until...
Dennis Hastert.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
George W. Bush gets elected, and he embodies the 1990s vibe, right? Except for like 8 months into his presidency, 9/11 happens, and the entire vibe shifts. The entire way our country works, how people move around in it in the world changes. It transforms day-to-day life of people. And then we lived under the reign of the global war on terror for another decade until about Obama's second term.
Still live under it. Still have to take our stupid shoes off at an airport.
Yeah, but they don't even care anymore. Now it's just a one more element of the totalitarian authority state that is coming into power that tries to control every aspect of our lives. We're in a peak nanny state, babying everyone, as seen recently in the efforts of one man to live his dream, but was thwarted terribly by the authorities in the state of Florida. Florida man arrested for trying to cross the Atlantic Ocean in human-sized hamster wheel. Shame, shame, shame. You know, Adam, you know what? This is what's wrong with the world. During the 19th and 20th centuries, people would have gone to sea, and if he died, he died. We tell stories about it. Now it's all one big gay daycare where you can't.
Oh my gosh!
Where you can't do cool stuff just because you want to. No, Billy, don't try to cross the ocean. That's dangerous. Instead, we're going to ruin your life in future, so you'd only wish you were dead. Gay. What's this? We've got a community note. I'm following up. Yes, community notes are a way that community members provide context to stuff on Twitter. And this one says, the man was not arrested, although the Coast Guard is investigating the safety of his vessel. He has been
life jackets.
He has been. They're like exercise balls or something. I don't know.
Oh, sweet.
This man has been rescued by the Coast Guard while attempting similar stunts in the past. So apparently he's just not committed, or the Coast Guard's not willing to let him commit 100% to his bit.
It sounds like he's pretty committed. He's done similar stunts in the past.
Yeah, but does he call for rescue? Does he get foundered out there in the sea and he's like, "Help me, I'm dying. I can't do this. I'll try again in 6 months."
Oh.
Get good, scrub. This is exactly what I'm talking about, though. Simply no regard. There was another thing I had on community notes. Let's see if I can find it. Maybe not. Maybe I only have Elon Musk making it clear to everyone involved that, to be super clear, he is pro-free speech, but against anti-Semitism of any kind. Who was questioning this? Says Penny 2X gold checkmark pink guy with a star. I don't know what any of that means. Since acquisition,
Star?
I don't know, maybe. Since acquisition, the ADL has been trying to kill this platform, meaning Twitter/X, by falsely accusing it and me of being anti-Semitic. Our U.S. advertising revenue still is down 60% primarily due to pressure on advertisers by the ADL. That's the Anti-Defamation League. That's what advertisers have been telling us. So they almost succeeded in killing X/Twitter. Will you take action on these false allegations? Says Tesla owner Silicon Valley gold check pink guy star. If this continues, we will have no choice but to file a defamation suit against, ironically, the Anti-Defamation League. And if they lose the defamation suit, we will insist that they drop the anti part of their name. Since obviously, laughing face emoji. And I am just super glad, and I'm just very super glad that Elon was super clear that he supports free speech on this platform, because boy howdy do we have some free speech happening here.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah, pulled up in a bar outside, and
What's this?
there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like
Did
what
you,
is it?
It
did you
definitely
zoom
wasn't
in your
Barack's
face,
first time.
Zach?
Let me be clear. Adam, guess how many people viewed this trailer?
How many people viewed it?
Yeah, just the
Is that
trailer.
what you're asking?
Yes, how many people
Just
viewed
the trailer?
just the
4
trailer?
million.
72.4 million views.
Oh no! Wait. That's tweet impression. You have to,
No, that's actual views. Impressions. Impressions. It doesn't even have impressions on that one. I can't even tell you how many people have been impressed by that post.
Oh, jeez. Disgusting.
But I can tell you that on the actual video, only 30. It has 33.7 million. I guess that is the impressions. I guess you're right. The video of Larry Sinclair speaking with Tucker Carlson about his relationships with Barack Obama was only viewed 33 million times. So people had a much higher appetite for a exhilarating 1-minute clip than for a grueling 41 minutes conversation with this gentleman. I myself didn't watch it.
No, I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, I don't need any
Shoot,
convincing
I
to
can
know
watch
the
other-
truth.
I saw the trailer and I'm like, yep, it's
Yeah,
true.
100%.
We already knew it.
Yeah, well, yeah, tell me something I don't know, Tucker.
It
Yeah.
It makes sense when he's like, oh, my daughter's changed my opinion on this. Like, yeah, right. Now it all makes sense.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
All the different
It's
stuff.
gotta be good.
Oops.
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 Did you rub your hand along his thigh to see where it would go?
Oopsie daisies. Oh my. Barry, my hand slipped there. Sorry about that. I'm just feeling so good on all this good coke you got me. Oh, Barry, you're so hilarious when you talk about the proletariat uprising against the bourgeois oppressor. Let me be clear. This crack cocaine is excellent.
Oh, that's good. I thought you were just gonna say, "Let me be clear."
Well,
That was it. But
he was having a conversation with Mr. Sinclair during their drug-fueled homosexual romantic escapade. It's as true as anything else I've seen on the news, so I don't see why not. Adam, you might know that occasionally,
Zachary.
only on occasion, it appears that the news guys seem to have a downloaded new talking points, and then they begin to discuss an issue. it could almost be organic that they bring it up, except for the fact that multiple of them bring it up and then discuss it in the exact same way as each other.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's what? All right. I was half expecting you because you're like off in the corner there.
No, I'm looking. I'm looking at chat because chat's been blowing up.
No, it was because of the last video, right?
Somebody shut Zach off. Yeah, not likely. I run this show. You're all in my grasp now. Oh no, but my uncle says that he has seen the Obama video.
Oh, wait, what?
He's seen the video. The
There's I don't know what the Tucker Carlson interview
or
or
the video.
Oh, no. It's a terrible day to have ears.
I agree, 100%. But
I love sending you those, by the way. Where it's like, it's like, I didn't want to see this, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
you're
Zach,
just
here you go.
afflicting me because you're like, if I must suffer, you must suffer.
It's usually I get you to see it by some funny, it's like a funny meme or something in response to that. I even forgot what I sent you today, but I remember when I sent you, I forgot what was the response to it. It was like a guy running, it was in from Lost, I think.
Loss? Oh. No, that was
he
good.
ran over John Locke.
No, yes, it was a question about Pokemon types.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And this
inappropriate.
was a video response to that post. That it was the scene where Desmond ran over, for inexplicable reasons, John Locke in the parking lot of a grade school.
While he's in a wheelchair.
Yes. And he goes flying up over the top of the car.
Oh, man.
But
I think it was the third time I cried laughing today. Whoa.
Adam, have you noticed that your groceries might cost a little bit more money these days than you had been spending in the recent past?
Beep boop, beep boop, beep. Wait, actually, yeah, I have.
Have you
noticed
noticed that,
that.
when you fill up your gas tank, your dollar doesn't seem to go as far as it did but a couple years ago?
Dude, on the way home today, I saw it jumped another 40 cents at the Shell.
Yeah, I used
Today.
my fuel saver and saved like $23 today on gas.
I was like, oh.
And it was still $50 to fill up my tank.
I'm gun running over to Missouri.
I see you have noticed. Perhaps that this increase.
I'm going, and while I'm over there, Zach, I buy a bunch of cigarettes to bootleg.
I do need to go over to Missouri.
I don't even know how to do that.
How to bootleg? You buy them there, and they're cheaper because the taxes are lower. And then you bring them over here and you sell them at a markup, but still at a discount from the store ones. And
Why isn't everyone doing this?
because it's illegal, and the state of Illinois will come catch your
How is
general
it
bill.
illegal to buy it? That's just resale.
Are you paying those taxes?
Hey, what taxes?
Nah, he's getting it. But a Wall Street Journal poll, according to Tom Nichols, has said that 74% of registered voters think inflation is headed in the wrong direction. There is no reasoning. With this many people being wrong, it's not possible to shovel against this tide, says Tom Nichols. He is misinterpreting the data. People are paying 3 times the price at the pump, 2 times.
See, this is the problem. Well, this is what he's getting at, and this is why these people are pencil necks. The average person's like, I'm paying more now than I was a year ago, and he's like, well, no, technically, inflation, while it is still increasing, is increasing at a slower pace than it was a year ago. So technically, checkmate. You're an idiot. It's like, no, but gas is even more. My groceries are even more. How am I an idiot? The cost is going higher. It's like, but technically, you're stupid. You didn't answer correct in the poll because technically, it's 24% are the correct people. It's like, I don't care about the poll. I care about the gas that's costing and the groceries and stuff.
Yeah, I was just trying to let you guys know that I am not happy.
And we should shovel you in the head or whatever.
I'm not happy that I have to pay as much as I'm paying. It's way more than I had to pay. And I answered the way I thought that's what that meant. I'm paying too much based on how much I get paid. I didn't get a
and it's crazy
100%
too.
raise in my salary to go along with my grocery bill.
Zach, it's crazy too because that elitist mentality. There's no arguing with this, and so it's 74% of this poll, which is polls are fake, anyways. But like, if you look at it, and you're like, oh man, oh geez, you can't even do that download thing that you're talking about, because if you were to do that, it would be something like if they're splitting it up between Republican, like conservative, liberal, or Democratic, Republican, independent. Like you'd see some pattern emerge. But here, there's like a quarter of the people are saying it's headed in the right direction, while 3/4 like, nah, man, groceries cost too much.
Yeah, all they're saying is that by answering that way, they're saying that I pay too much for groceries, especially compared to what I paid a couple years ago. My grocery bill's gone way too high. If it's still going up, you're just saying that it's going up at a rate that's appropriate. And I'm saying that I would like it to go down, please.
Yes.
It could stay frozen for another 3 years, and it would still be higher than your appropriate rate that it's growing at now from what it was when Trump lost that most fair and most voted for presidential secure election in history or whatever. But it wasn't just Tom Nichols. Paul Krugman got in on the game as well. Over the past couple of days, I've had several conversations with smart people who follow the news.
You're making him sound too smart.
And had no idea that inflation is way down.
Well, that's not true.
And presumably hasn't broken through at all to the wider public. Yeah.
See, that other poll was more true, and that was a more true sentiment than what he's getting at.
Oh no, inflation is way down. The inflation rate is at current day is low. I think it's at like 3% or whatever, which is historically
right.
Low rate of inflation year over year.
Yeah, correct, year over year.
Yeah. So what do you
forget the fact that we jumped up so much over the past 18 months? No. Yeah, about 18 months now. 20 months? No, it's even longer than that. It was like May of 20. That's when we first started seeing that. It's May of 2021.
Yes. It was almost immediately after Joe Biden took the presidency. And it was all his fault, I say. It definitely wasn't the Trump bucks that was shipped out to everybody. or the
No, they both
complete
get it.
shutdown of the economy for the very
Hey, we had
deadly
some-
pandemic disease we suffered.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's ways that you can exacerbate this and make it fester and explode, or there's mitigating factors you could do. And I think the Fed even said, like, actually should have been taken, could have been taken. But then they're like, that was after the whole, there's no such thing. No, inflation doesn't exist right now. It's transitory. It's actually good.
You're remembering
Oh,
the
crap,
way
we need
that
to
this
raise
discourse goes. And these people that say that inflation exists, they're full of beans. We're not experiencing any heightened inflation, and then it like becomes less and less deniable. And okay. There is a little bit. Some inflation is happening, but it's normal. And it's transitory. Soon it will go away, and everything will be back to normal. Yada yada yada. It's this boom bah, and everybody's like, "Okay, it's not. It's going up higher."
What was it? What did they say? That it infiltrated the labor market?
Oh,
Is that what it was?
I think that was the first thing that happened.
No, I thought it was. They said it was about this year last time that it infiltrated the labor market with wages, and now you're like SOL. Like it was like with goods, and there was like I don't know, but the economics is kind of like black magic, anyways.
I remember this. I remember that after people started getting free money during the pandemic to not work, for whatever reason, Adam, and I don't know, I can't put it together, and I can't figure it out. The government was paying them more to not work than to work, then they wouldn't go to work. My mind, too, was boggled by this. It's like, why wouldn't they go to work and make less money than they were making unemployed? I don't understand.
Yeah, well, shoot, Zach, that was just like in 2009 or whatever. Same 2008, 2009,
2020, when they imposed these lockdowns, and then they had to provide a backstop to help support people with enhanced unemployment benefits. I don't know, 2009. That's a whole different ball of wax.
Different. It was different, but there's a lot of the same.
2009, they just extended the period of time under which the unemployment insurance would cover, so you could be unemployed for an extended period of time and still receive your benefits, but they were reduced. You would still be making less money. During COVID unemployment, you would be paid more.
Oh, that's what they. Okay, that's what they. I remember some expansion. I thought it was. You could get twice the amount of unemployment.
They never did away with that, by the way. That still exists. They never turned that off from 2009. It's still around.
I don't know about that one.
It's still around. And so people were like disincentivized to work, and they had more money than if they would work. And so there was no reason for them to go back to work, especially not for like $8 an hour or whatever the minimum wage was in whatever state. So people were like, what do we have to pay in order to get these people to come back to work? And you might notice that there was a campaign not too long ago to fight for a wage amount. Do you recall what the
15.
fight for
15?
Fight for 15, I believe, is exactly correct. Because $15 an hour was whatever people needed to get paid for minimum wage for whatever, even though they say that it was.
That's the living wage garbage that they were saying.
And basically,
now we got it.
The COVID pandemic forced wages to increase to $15 an hour minimum wage. Like everywhere you go, McDonald's is paying you $15, Taco Bell, whatever.
No, I saw some places that were looking for 17, 18.
Yes, this is exactly correct, because it's the free money and then everything else has caused this rapid wage inflation, which was the first thing. I can't even get a hot dog or whatever at at a restaurant for less than like $8 nowadays because of this trash. But that's what drives it up. And so you've had this increased pressure on wage growth at the bottom end, and a none of that for middle income people. And so it just shifted income from middle class folks right into the lowest wage earners. It made it harder for people like me and you to buy groceries and whatever. And then we say, well, my dollar's not going as far as it used to. I feel the tightening of the belt a little, and I'll answer these poll questions like that. The inflationary period has ended. It's back to normal. Just because you're poorer by 20% at least doesn't mean anything related to inflation. Checkmate. And for that reason, I believe those people should be hanged. But, that's just me. What are you going to do? Oh, beep, 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 beep. Breaking news. Adam, boop, 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 boop. Breaking news, Adam, there's a hurricane. A hurricane is jumped up from 80 miles an hour to now 105 miles an hour in just 6 hours. And
Ooh.
as rapid intensification has started, the National Hurricane Center is calling for a Category 5 over open water by the weekend. Models continue to thankfully keep us well away from Florida, but it should be monitored from the Carolinas to eastern Canada, maybe to northern Virginia and the D.C. area. Stick with WINK News for updates. Hashtag Lee? Oh, that's the hurricane's name is Lee. Hurricane Robert E. Lee. You have one job, sir. Turn towards Northern Virginia and D.C. Make them regret tarnishing your memory. The South will rise again over the ashes of this mighty wind sent from the good Lord to take care of the northern oppressor.
Where did the storm start?
The storm? Oh, out in the Atlantic Ocean. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
Like all of them. Well, I guess some of them do start in like the Gulf or whatever. But no, see that. Robert E. Lee, he's out here. out here.
Oh my gosh, he's doing the hurricane tactic. We weren't prepared.
He's gathering steam in his armies by raiding the Caribbean islands in the Golden Circle from this.
Oh
no! I really do hope that Hurricane Lee absolutely just destroys all of the East Coast. I'm sorry for anyone out there who lives there. Best of luck to you in these coming days of violence and treachery.
They could, if they choose to, they could pray the hurricane away.
Oh, that's true.
They could repent and believe.
Who was involved with that back in the day? This was a couple of years ago.
It was a handful of. It was a grifter / occultist, and then also her group and other actual well-meaning Christians went to the coast of Florida
Oh yes,
Afraid the hurricane
the
will-
hurricane diverted right around Florida. All right,
Yeah.
in chat, John
Like
Clark
hit an
says
invisible wall.
during 2009 he went to Texas for 3 months to work when his plant shut down. He had to sleep on my other uncle's flea-infested couch. It was my dad and my 2 uncles back in 2009. Yeah. See, even
Sorry for the fleas.
yeah,
Sad to hear.
itchy. I didn't lose my job. I worked for the government in 2009, so I weathered that storm pretty okay. And you were just in high school, so it didn't even matter.
I was actually in college,
Oh, okay.
so I was living off the government's teeth.
Yeah, getting that debt, building it slowly.
I'm still there.
Oh. All right. Before we get too far afield, though, I do have something that I need to show you guys. It is the greatest motor vehicle stunt that has
I'm not
ever
watching
been.
this. I'm not watching this. I cannot see. Oh no.
Wow! Oh, it didn't make. Oh no! Is he dead? He lives! One more time. Oh, did not have the juice.
He moved off the ramp
Oh, I don't know.
at the last minute. He didn't have the contact.
Let's look at this other angle.
See here.
Oh, so are you submitting?
Oh my god.
Are you submitting that he could have made it if his wheel had
Oh,
slid off
absolutely.
the edge of the ramp instead of falling 4.5 stories?
That was still a huge fall.
Yeah, it doesn't look that tall until you like.
No, it was the one angle you showed me, and I'm like,
I like the slow-mo.
you can see him put his hands up.
Yeah.
And the one, I'm not watching some dude get murdered by his vehicle.
Everyone, I want you to know that this guy lived. He climbed out of the windshield of the car. So everything is fine.
That was right at, decapitation level.
Yeah, it's fine. The crumple zones on his Yugo there or whatever did their job. He weathered the crash. All right. It is time to wrap up the show. And as always, our last segment here on the show is our Ice Cold Fact of the Week. Coming to you straight from Heist-T himself. Ice Cold Facts. You gain respect by simply doing what you said you'd do. Ice Cold Fact. Yeah, and it has been my experience that a lot of people just do have trouble doing that.
Zach, that's why I never say I do anything.
You never say you do anything?
Yeah, then I won't have to follow through.
Well, that's our show, folks. That's it. It's done. It's done. And we really hope you liked it. And if you did, smash like, subscribe, and share this video with all of your friends. You can follow us on social media. Our Twitter handles are on the screen. That's at Adam S. Furman, at Zachary W_Clark. I currently look like a cat wearing this fabulous American flag bandana, by the way. You'll recognize me right away. And at Triggered_Media. Adam, here at the end of the show, did you have anything you'd like to add for our listeners?
I do not. No.
All right, folks, that's it. That's the show, and we will see you next time on Triggered.